The Sahel region of Africa is undergoing a seismic shift that could change the course of history. For decades, this vast stretch of land, bridging the Sahara Desert and the tropical savannas, has been a battleground for influence between Western powers and local forces. But now, a new chapter is unfolding, one led by a young, fearless leader determined to rewrite the rules. Meet President Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, one of the youngest heads of state in the world. At just 37 years old, Traore is shaking up the status quo with a bold vision for his country and the entire Sahel region. His rise to power was swift and decisive, fueled by a desire to end foreign interference and restore true sovereignty to his people. This is not just a story about politics, it's about a region reclaiming its destiny. Ibrahim Traore was born in 1986 in Burkina Faso, a country nestled in the heart of West Africa's Sahel region. From a young age, he showed a strong sense of duty and commitment to his nation. Traore pursued a career in the military, where he quickly distinguished himself as a capable and determined officer. His experience included serving as a peacekeeper in United Nations missions, which exposed him to the complexities of regional conflicts and the challenges faced by his homeland. His military background gave him a unique perspective on the security issues plaguing Burkina Faso and the wider Sahel. Traore understood that the threats facing his country were not just military but deeply intertwined with political and economic factors. This insight would later shape his approach to leadership and governance. The Alliance of Sahel States, commonly known as AES, represents a groundbreaking development in the political and security landscape of West Africa. Officially formed in September 2023, the AES is a coalition of three pivotal Sahelian countries: Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. These nations, sharing borders and facing similar challenges, came together with a shared determination to redefine their future and assert greater control over their destiny. The origins of the AES lie in growing dissatisfaction with the existing regional frameworks, particularly the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. For years, ECOWAS has been the dominant regional organization, tasked with promoting economic integration and political stability. However, many in the Sahel have viewed ECOWAS as heavily influenced by Western powers, especially France, whose military and political presence has long shaped the region's affairs. This perception of external interference, combined with frustrations over ineffective responses to security threats and economic stagnation, fueled the desire for a new alliance, one that would prioritize the interests of Sahelian nations themselves. Burkina Faso, under the leadership of President Ibrahim Traore, played a central role in spearheading the formation of the AES. Traore's vision was clear: to create a bloc that would foster regional cooperation based on mutual respect, shared security responsibilities, and economic self-reliance. Mali and Niger, both grappling with similar insurgencies and economic challenges, quickly aligned with this vision, recognizing the potential benefits of a united front. The AES is more than just a political alliance. It is a comprehensive framework designed to address the multifaceted challenges facing the Sahel. At its core, the alliance focuses on three primary goals: enhancing regional security, achieving economic independence, and asserting political sovereignty. Security remains the most urgent concern for AES members. The Sahel has been plagued by violent extremist groups and insurgencies that have destabilized large swaths of territory, displaced millions, and undermined development efforts. The AES seeks to coordinate military operations, intelligence sharing, and border security measures to more effectively combat these threats. By pooling resources and expertise, the member states aim to fill the security vacuum left by the withdrawal of Western forces, particularly the French military, which has significantly reduced its presence following public opposition and government decisions to expel foreign troops. Economic independence is another cornerstone of the AES's mission. The alliance aims to reduce reliance on foreign aid and external financial institutions by promoting regional trade, infrastructure development, and industrialization. Plans include establishing a common market and eventually a shared currency to facilitate commerce and investment within the bloc. This economic integration is seen as essential for fostering sustainable growth and improving the livelihoods of millions of Sahelian citizens. Political sovereignty is equally vital. The AES members are committed to making decisions free from external pressure or influence. This includes rejecting what they perceive as neo-colonial interference and asserting their right to determine their own political and economic paths. The alliance embodies a collective assertion of independence, signaling a break from the traditional dominance of Western powers in the region. The AES stands in contrast to ECOWAS, which has historically been the primary regional organization in West Africa. While ECOWAS includes a broader membership and has played a significant role in regional diplomacy and economic integration, its perceived alignment with Western interests has led to skepticism among some Sahelian countries. The AES, by contrast, positions itself as a more autonomous and assertive bloc, focused specifically on the unique needs and challenges of the Sahel. This divergence has not gone unnoticed by the international community. Western powers, particularly France and the United States, have expressed concern over the AES's growing influence and its pivot towards alternative partnerships. The alliance's members have actively sought to diversify their international relationships, forging closer ties with countries such as Russia, China, Turkey, and Iran. These partnerships provide military support, economic investment, and diplomatic backing, offering the AES countries alternatives to traditional Western alliances. Russia, in particular, has become a key partner, providing military training, equipment, and strategic support. This relationship has been highlighted by high-profile visits and agreements, signaling a shift in the geopolitical dynamics of the region. China's involvement focuses more on infrastructure development and economic cooperation, aligning with its broader Belt and Road Initiative. Turkey and Iran have also engaged with AES members, offering various forms of assistance and collaboration. The AES's embrace of these non-Western partners reflects a broader trend of diversification in global alliances, as countries seek to balance influence and maximize their strategic options. For the Sahel, this means greater leverage in international affairs and the potential to break free from dependency on any single power. Despite the bold ambitions of the AES, the alliance faces significant challenges. Coordinating security efforts across vast and often inaccessible territories is complex, and the threat from extremist groups remains formidable. Economic integration requires overcoming infrastructural deficits, political differences, and external economic pressures. Moreover, the alliance must navigate the delicate balance of asserting sovereignty while engaging constructively with the wider international community. Nevertheless, the formation of the AES marks a historic moment for the Sahel. It represents a collective effort by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to reclaim agency over their future and to build a regional order that reflects their values and priorities. The alliance's success or failure will have profound implications not only for the Sahel but for the broader geopolitical landscape of Africa and beyond. What do you think about the rise of regional alliances like the AES challenging long-standing Western influence? Could this be the start of a new era for Africa's Sahel region? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Magnificent Story for more in-depth political trend stories. In early 2025, Niger officially became the newest member of the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. A move that sent ripples across the geopolitical landscape of West Africa. This historic accession was celebrated during a grand summit held in Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso, where leaders from the AES member countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, gathered to mark this significant milestone. The event was not merely a ceremonial welcome, it was a powerful declaration of unity, resilience, and a shared vision for the future of the Sahel. Niger's decision to join the AES was the culmination of months of strategic discussions and growing alignment with the alliance's core objectives. Like its neighbors, Niger has been grappling with a complex mix of security threats, economic challenges, and the lingering effects of external influence. The country's leadership recognized that joining the AES would strengthen regional cooperation and provide a platform to assert greater autonomy in addressing these issues. The summit in Ouagadougou was charged with a spirit of optimism and determination. The leaders underscored the importance of solidarity among Sahelian nations, emphasizing that their collective strength was essential to overcoming the region's persistent challenges. Niger's accession was hailed as a critical step toward consolidating the alliance's influence and advancing the cause of regional independence. At the heart of the summit was a stirring speech delivered by President Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. His words resonated deeply with the gathered dignitaries and the millions watching across the Sahel and beyond. Traore spoke not only as a leader of his nation but as a representative of a new generation of African statesmen committed to reclaiming their country's destinies. Today, Traore declared, we stand united not just as neighbors, but as architects of our destiny. The era of external dictates is ending. The Sahel will chart its own course, guided by the will of its people. His speech was a clarion call for sovereignty, self-determination, and regional solidarity. It symbolized a break from the past and a bold step toward a future defined by cooperation and mutual respect. Niger's strategic importance to the AES cannot be overstated. Geographically, it occupies a central position in the Sahel, sharing borders with all three founding members of the alliance. This location makes Niger a vital link in the chain of regional security and economic integration. Its vast natural resources, including significant uranium deposits, add to its value within the alliance. These resources are crucial for energy production and economic development, offering the AES countries opportunities to reduce dependence on external suppliers. Moreover, Niger's accession strengthens the AES's ability to coordinate security efforts across the Sahel. The region has been plagued by violent extremist groups and insurgencies that threaten stability and development. By bringing Niger into the fold, the AES enhances its capacity for joint military operations, intelligence sharing, and border control. This unified approach is seen as essential for addressing the complex security landscape that no single country can manage alone. The message of unity and independence echoed throughout the summit. The leaders emphasized that the AES is more than a political alliance. It is a movement toward reclaiming control over the Sahel's future. This includes economic integration with plans to develop infrastructure, promote trade, and eventually establish a common currency. Such initiatives aim to foster sustainable growth and improve the quality of life for millions of Sahelian citizens. The symbolism of Niger's accession extends beyond the immediate benefits. It represents a collective rejection of the old order, where external powers dictated terms and influenced internal affairs. The AES's expansion signals a new era in which Sahelian countries assert their sovereignty and work together to solve their problems on their own terms. Visuals from the summit captured the historic moment vividly. Footage showed the waving flags of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, symbolizing the unity of the alliance. Speeches were delivered with passion and conviction, reflecting the deep commitment of the leaders to their shared cause. The gathering of heads of state and government officials underscored the seriousness and significance of the occasion. The international community watched closely as the AES grew stronger. While some Western powers expressed concern over the alliance's pivot toward non-Western partners, the AES members remained steadfast in their resolve. Their partnerships with countries like Russia, China, Turkey, and Iran provide alternative sources of support and investment, further reducing reliance on traditional Western allies. Niger's accession to the AES is a milestone that encapsulates the broader transformation underway in the Sahel. It highlights the region's determination to overcome decades of challenges through unity, cooperation, and a renewed sense of purpose. As the AES continues to evolve, its success will depend on the ability of its members to maintain solidarity, address security threats effectively, and foster economic development. For the people of Niger and the wider Sahel, this moment offers hope. It signals a future where their countries are not pawns in global power struggles but active players shaping their destinies. The alliance's growth is a testament to the resilience and ambition of Sahelian nations, determined to build a safer, more prosperous, and independent region. What are your thoughts on Niger joining the AES and the growing unity in the Sahel? Do you believe this alliance can bring lasting change to the region? Share your views in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe to Magnificent Story for more insightful political trend stories. For decades, France maintained a significant military presence across the Sahel region, positioning itself as a central actor in the fight against extremist groups and in efforts to stabilize fragile governments. French forces operated in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and other neighboring countries under various military operations, often framed as counterterrorism missions. However, over time, this presence became increasingly contentious. Beginning in early 2023, Burkina Faso took a decisive step by expelling French troops from its territory. This bold move was a response to growing public dissatisfaction and widespread protests against what many perceived as neo-colonial interference. The sentiment was that foreign military forces had failed to bring lasting peace or security, and their presence was seen as an infringement on national sovereignty. Following Burkina Faso's lead, Mali and Niger also announced the withdrawal of French forces, effectively ending France's direct military involvement in these countries. These expulsions marked a dramatic shift in the region's security landscape and sent a clear message that the era of Western military dominance in the Sahel was coming to an end. The departure of French troops has created a significant security vacuum. While the intent behind the expulsions was to reclaim sovereignty and reduce external influence, the sudden absence of a major military power has raised concerns about the capacity of Sahelian nations to manage ongoing threats independently. The region continues to face persistent challenges from extremist groups, cross-border insurgencies, and political instability. In response, the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, has accelerated efforts to strengthen regional security cooperation. Member countries are investing in joint military operations, intelligence sharing, and rapid response forces to fill the gap left by departing foreign troops. This transition represents both a challenge and an opportunity for the Sahel to develop homegrown solutions to its security problems. The Sahel region continues to face serious security challenges, primarily due to the presence of various extremist groups and ongoing insurgencies. These groups exploit the vast, often ungoverned spaces across Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and neighboring countries, spreading violence and instability. The resulting humanitarian crisis has displaced millions and disrupted economic activities, making security a top priority for the region's leaders. In response, the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, has prioritized regional cooperation to tackle these threats more effectively. Member countries have increased collaboration on military operations, sharing intelligence, and coordinating border security efforts. This collective approach aims to close gaps that individual countries might struggle to manage alone, creating a more unified front against extremist activities. President Ibrahim Traore's government has taken significant steps to bolster national defense capabilities. Military spending has increased, with investments in training, equipment, and the establishment of rapid response forces designed to react swiftly to emerging threats. These forces are intended to be agile and well-coordinated, capable of addressing security incidents before they escalate. The AES's emphasis on regional cooperation and self-reliance reflects a broader hope for a homegrown solution to the Sahel's security challenges. By working together, pooling resources, and reducing dependence on external military support, the alliance aims to build sustainable peace and stability. While the path ahead remains difficult, this strategy represents a critical shift toward empowering Sahelian nations to protect their own people and territories. President Ibrahim Traore has made economic reform a central pillar of his leadership, focusing on transparency, self-sufficiency, and better management of Burkina Faso's natural resources. Recognizing that security and development are deeply connected, Traore has prioritized fighting corruption and improving governance to create a more stable environment for growth. His administration has taken steps to ensure that public funds are used effectively and that economic benefits reach ordinary citizens. One of Traore's key goals is to reduce Burkina Faso's reliance on external aid and financial institutions. This approach reflects a broader desire within the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, to foster economic independence across the region. The AES has ambitious plans to develop infrastructure, promote industrialization, and enhance trade among member countries. By improving roads, energy networks, and communication systems, the alliance aims to create a more connected and productive regional economy. A particularly bold initiative within the AES is the proposal to establish a common currency. This move would facilitate trade, reduce transaction costs, and strengthen economic ties between member states. It also symbolizes a commitment to deeper integration and shared prosperity, moving away from dependence on foreign currencies and financial systems. The alliance's economic vision is about more than just numbers. It's about empowering people. By building a self-reliant economy, the AES countries hope to create jobs, improve living standards, and provide opportunities for their youth. This vision resonates with many who have long felt the effects of economic marginalization and external control. For viewers, the message is clear. Economic independence is essential for true sovereignty. When countries control their resources and economic policies, they can better serve their people and shape their futures. The AES's efforts under Traore's leadership represent a hopeful step toward that goal, offering a model for other regions facing similar challenges. President Ibrahim Traore has become a powerful symbol of African sovereignty and youthful leadership. Many admire his bold stance against external interference and his efforts to unite the Sahel under a shared vision of independence. His ability to survive political challenges and maintain a firm grip on power has earned him respect among supporters who see him as a new kind of leader, one willing to challenge the old order and fight for his people's dignity. However, Traore's leadership is not without controversy. Critics raise concerns about authoritarian tendencies, restrictions on political freedoms, and reports of human rights issues. The ongoing violence in the region, despite increased military efforts, adds to the complexity of his tenure. Many citizens live in fear and uncertainty, caught between armed groups and government forces. This dual reality highlights the difficult balance Traore must navigate, maintaining order and security while addressing the needs and rights of his people. His leadership reflects the broader challenges faced by many countries in conflict zones, where progress often comes with significant costs. What do you think about leadership during times of crisis? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Magnificent Story for more insightful political trend stories. The Alliance of Sahel States, AES, holds significant promise for enhancing regional stability and fostering development. By uniting key countries under a shared vision, the AES aims to address long-standing challenges through cooperation and self-reliance. If successful, this alliance could transform the Sahel into a more secure and prosperous region, capable of shaping its own destiny. However, the path ahead is fraught with difficulties. Violence from extremist groups continues to threaten peace, while widespread poverty and political fragmentation complicate efforts to build cohesive societies. Overcoming these obstacles will require sustained commitment, effective governance, and inclusive development strategies. The rise of the AES also carries global implications. Traditional regional bodies like ECOWAS and Western powers face a shifting landscape as the Sahel asserts greater independence. Meanwhile, partnerships with non-Western countries introduce new dynamics into international relations, challenging established norms. Ultimately, the Sahel's future depends on its people's resilience and determination. The fight for dignity and self-determination is ongoing, and the AES represents a bold step toward reclaiming control over the region's political and economic future. Niger's historic entry into the Alliance of Sahel States marks a turning point for the region, symbolizing a united front under President Ibrahim Traore's bold leadership. This moment signals the decline of Western dominance and the emergence of a new regional order driven by self-determination and cooperation. The Sahel is stepping into a future shaped by its own people, ready to face challenges with resilience and unity. If you found this story insightful, please like, share, and comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to Magnificent Story for more compelling political trend stories that reveal the forces shaping our world.